saints in this family of Sadhguru saints. It's always beautiful to sit amongst you all and learn from each other. Saints, I remember Babaji shared an example that once while he was touring, and the Marbush, they wanted to take Babaji to two particular places, and one of the places was quite far, but it was a beautiful lake. And so when they all decided, the group, yes, this out of the two would be a better place to take Sadhguru, and so they set off. And since when they set off and they got there, and it was quite foggy in the morning, so Babaji mentioned that when we got there, and though it was a beautiful place and it was hidden by all the fog, and it was only after an hour then the fog started to lift, and then everybody got to see the beautiful scenery, the lake, the flowers, the trees, how beautiful it looked. But it was only once the fog had lifted. So Babaji emphasized the importance that when the mind is clouded with disillusion, misconceptions, and this too also separates us from, what is real. And that is why, saints, it's always stressed, Babaji always stresses the importance of keeping connected in this almighty Nirankar formless, always, and to keep the company of the Sadh Sangha, because this is where the food for the mind is attained. And Babaji expresses that until the mind does not get strong in spirituality, and then saints, it begins to, get frustrated over petty issues. It does not rise above as a spiritual being. It gets clouded. So saints, somebody once, and there's a story that emphasizes this, saints. There was once a gentleman walking, and Marbush was with him. And the gentleman said to the Marbush, why do you go to Sangha every, 3-4 times a week, and you hear the same stories, you hear the same words and the same songs, and don't you get bored? You see the same faces. And the Marbush listened, and he says, so when you wake up in the morning, what do you do? So he says, well, I wake up and then I go for a jog in the morning, I have my breakfast, and so the Marbush says, so when you're going for your jog, then do you not see the same people? And he says, yes, I have some friends that I pass on the way, and we say good morning. And he said, oh, okay, so there's the same people. And he says, yes. And the Marbush says, okay, so then what do you see when you're jogging? He said, I see the same, area, the same tree and the same park, and as I'm running along. And the Marbush says, oh, okay, so tell me, why do you do this every morning? And he says, so my body can be fit and strong. And so the Marbush said that, well, this is exactly the same reason that the prophets have taught us from the past and the present today, that to keep the mind strong in spirituality, one needs to constantly keep the company of Sadh Sangha, and to keep this at the forefront so the dust of all the worldly things do not remain on the mind and cloud it. So it's so important, saints, that to, the first step of devotion, Babaji expresses, is to keep the company of the Sadh Sangha. And there's so much importance and value we learn, and it transforms our lives. It keeps us positive, energized, and charged in this spiritual energy. So saints, this food cannot be attained anywhere else. And Babaji expresses that, just like a carriage, if a carriage is beautiful, but if the horse is weak, and then it cannot take the